Have you ever heard the story of a man who rose from a tiny log cabin to become one of the greatest leaders in history? This is the inspiring and true life story of Abraham Lincoln, the poor farm boy who changed the course of America forever. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin in Kentucky, USA. His parents, Thomas and Nancy Lincoln, were simple farmers who struggled to make ends meet. When Abraham was just 9 years old, his mother passed away, leaving a deep mark on his young heart. Later, his father remarried a kind woman named Sarah Bush Johnston, who encouraged Abraham's love for reading and learning. Despite having less than a year of formal education, Lincoln read every book he could find by candlelight after long days of hard work. Books like the Bible and the life of George Washington shaped his beliefs in honesty, courage, and freedom. People in his town soon began calling him Honest Abe. As a young man, Lincoln worked as a rail splitter, store clerk, and even a postmaster. But his dream was to serve others and make a difference. In 1832, at just 23 years old, he ran for the Illinois state legislature and lost. But failure didn't stop him. 2 years later, he tried again and won. While working as a state legislator, he studied law on his own. By 1836, Lincoln became a lawyer in Springfield, Illinois, known for his honesty and sharp reasoning. In courtrooms, his words were calm yet powerful. He didn't just argue, he persuaded. In 1842, Abraham Lincoln married Mary Todd, a smart and ambitious woman from Kentucky. They had 4 sons: Robert, Edward, William, Willie, and Thomas Todd. But heartbreak never left Lincoln's side. 3 of his children died young, leaving him and Mary in deep sorrow. Through it all, Lincoln stayed strong, finding comfort in work and faith. Lincoln's rise to national politics began in 1846 when he became a U.S. congressman. He spoke out boldly against slavery and injustice. But when he opposed the Mexican-American War, many disagreed with him. He lost popularity and stepped away from politics for a time. Then, in 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act reignited the slavery debate. Lincoln couldn't stay silent anymore. He helped form a new party, the Republican Party, built on the idea that slavery should not spread any further. In 1858, Lincoln faced Stephen A. Douglas in the famous Lincoln-Douglas debates. Though he lost that election, his words, "A house divided against itself cannot stand," made him a national figure. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln ran for president. His message was clear: freedom, equality, and unity. When he won, Southern states feared his anti-slavery stance and decided to leave the Union. The United States was torn apart and the Civil War began in 1861. It was the darkest time in American history, but through it all, Lincoln stayed calm, humble, and determined to save the nation. In 1863, Lincoln made one of the most powerful moves in history. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that enslaved people in Confederate states were free. That same year, he gave the legendary Gettysburg Address, reminding Americans that their nation was dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Lincoln's leadership, wisdom, and compassion guided the Union to victory in 1865, but just days after the war ended, tragedy struck. On April 14, 1865, while watching a play at Ford's Theatre, Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer. He died the next morning, the first U.S. president to be assassinated. Abraham Lincoln's story didn't end with his death. It became a symbol of perseverance, integrity, and hope. From a poor farm boy to the savior of the Union, Lincoln proved that true greatness doesn't come from wealth or privilege, but from character, vision, and heart. Today, he is remembered not just as a president, but as a man who believed that freedom belongs to everyone. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because stories like Lincoln's remind us all that no matter where we start, we can rise above anything.